Hi everyone. I am just joining our Zoom group for the observance of Lady Loreon's passing, which happened 6 years ago on July 15th in 2014. So if you want to interact, there will be some opportunities to do so. Probably the best way will be via Zoom. So if you need the Zoom code, please just text me and or message me, and I will be attending to that, and I will give you the code to reach us through Zoom. However, if you cannot do Zoom, I'm going to attempt to be kind of simulcasting it via Facebook Live here. So that is what we are going to be doing. And then after all of this, at 10 p.m. tonight, I'll be sitting in silence for an hour in meditation for Loreon, because we know that that's the period of time that she passed on that day 6 years ago, on that evening. All right, so if anyone else does need codes to access Zoom, just let me know. I'm not seeing anything come through, so if you have joined us via Zoom before, the same code is working tonight. So just go ahead and type that in. And if you have not joined us, just let me know if you need the Zoom code to do so. So, Margarita, I'm not sure if you need that. Let me see. And now I've got to figure out, I've got to get myself into Zoom here for a second. So if anyone, please don't worry. I'm trying to get in here. Okay. I'm joining Zoom now. And we'll be, okay. Margarita, Carolina, if you want to join us on Zoom, it is code 775-157-2844. And I used to have that all set up to
We're going to let
you.
Tracy go ahead and use her phone and get on with us.
Hi.
Okay. What's wrong with your phone? Is it dead?
No. We're fine.
Can't hear you.
We're fine. There we go.
Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
I just have some people on Facebook with me too, so I'm kind of hoping that they are experiencing this. And if they can go onto Zoom, it's probably the better experience. And of course,
tell them to log on. Give them the Zoom.
Yeah, so the Zoom code is 775-157-2844. I realized the other day that that's the only phone type number I've probably actually memorized in the past 10 years. We're so addicted to our cell phones that, of course, do most of the work for us and always give us the numbers. But that one I've memorized. So.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Do you want and say that one more time so they know what they're doing?
Sure. If you want to join us by Zoom, which allows for more interaction, and we'll be sharing some memories of Loreon and so on, please go to Zoom, and the meeting code is 775-157-2844. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, you're actually watching the image from my computer onto my phone. So I hope it is actually an adequate image, but it's hard for me to tell. So the better video will definitely be via Zoom. So, all right. Well, blessings to everyone who is here and watching, and we will be continuing.
Wonderful. So Tracy, do you want to lead this off with your memories of Loreon, Vignette, and maybe Serena?
Well, first of all, I'd like to extend my welcome to everyone who is here and is watching. We're gathering here tonight to specifically honor our foundress here at Isis Oasis and the Temple of Isis. Lady Loreon Vignier, who was a remarkable woman in so many ways. And most remarkably, she created Isis Oasis in the Temple of Isis and handed it on to us to carry on. And so for the past 6 years, we have been. The first year after her passing, I wanted to commemorate that year and to commemorate her. And we really didn't intend to necessarily keep doing this, but the following year came and people were asking, are we doing that again? And of course, at that time, we could actually do ceremonies in the temple and precede it with a good meal and, then have, conversation and beverages afterwards. And so it was much more of an experience. And so we did for the second year. And so pretty much the same thing happened for the third year. It was like, okay, that's the 15th, we'll be up, and it became kind of our day of honoring Loreon. And now, with the recent passing of our beloved priestess, Serena Toxicat, who was such a good and close and dear friend of Lady Loreon, we're finding that this is kind of developing into our own Day of the Dead, if you would. The honoring of those wonderful people that have passed. And we've had quite a few of them just lately. One of our priestesses lost her partner, Marilyn Riley, just a few days ago. Our beloved priestess, Lady Zarita, lost our equally beloved priest, her husband Warren, a couple of months ago. I think that's right. Time has gotten strange in these pandemic times. 4 months ago. See, it is definitely different. And just this past month, I think, though I'll stand corrected, we lost another priestess of Bast, Catherine Farrar. And there, I believe, are others, too, out there that have chosen this turbulent time for transition. And so we are honoring all of them tonight, but, most especially Lady Loreon, and since we just very recently lost Serena Toxicat, or Serena Imai, or several other variations, we are definitely with her on our minds very much tonight. So, I first came to Isis Oasis back in, I think it was 1984 or 85, and that was the first time that I met Lady Loreon. I was with a metaphysical group that was visiting, and I'd already heard about Isis Oasis for a long time, and it had already been acting on my inner consciousness as kind of a beacon. I just loved the thought that there was an actual temple of Isis in California, albeit very far away from me at that time, as I was in San Diego. And it just radiated a light that I felt that I could actually capture. And it inspired my practices, and it inspired much else. Justin, do you think you could spotlight my video, or? Oh, on second thought, no. Anyway, thank you. So I got to meet her. I was already active in the Fellowship of Isis, as she was. And as it turned out, many years later, we realized that we had joined at almost the identical moment. And within, like a few weeks of each other, we had both signed up for the Fellowship of Isis and had both started kind of working into that direction. And so I connected with her at that time, and I just found her such a fascinating woman, and with these bright dancing eyes. And at that time she was probably about 50, and full of energy and action, and definitely in full control of Isis Oasis and everything that was going on. But she really had this effervescence about her, this joy that you could really connect with. And she seemed, so inspiring to me. And I, just really enjoyed that first encounter with her. And then it was some years before I came back. We were in minor correspondence during that time period. But then when my book Mysteries of Isis came out, I began spending more and more time up at Isis Oasis on her invitation to, do workshops and lectures and so on. And so it became a huge part of my life and a very important and wonderful part of my life. And I developed a great love for the place and for Loreon and for this spot on Earth. And to have a single memory of her, I can't even begin to separate it out. And so much of her was just experiencing her as she spoke, the jokes that she would make. She was wonderful company. She was fun. And yet she was also highly responsible and very much a model of someone who worked hard, took care of business, counted this, counted that, corrected this, corrected that, and yet still had that joy. And I'm still trying to find that balance myself in this space. And she had it so beautifully and did it with such grace. And one of the fascinating people that I encountered here was Serena, this beautiful girl who adored cats and really thought of herself as a cat, genuinely. And it was easy to believe. It was easy to believe. I remember going to one party of hers that she had, that she was dressed all in silver in this kind of stainless steel gallery that was somewhere in San Francisco. And it just felt like I was meeting an alien queen. She was so dazzling and gracious and so fully herself that it was easy to believe almost anything of her. And both she and Lady Loreon had that natural nobility and effortless, you couldn't take your eyes off of them when they were in a space. And yet they did effortlessly without, seeming to try to draw attention to themselves, just by their physicality and beauty and fascination. They drew all eyes to them. So I've been missing Loreon for 6 years now, and with Serena, I know that I'll be missing her every day too. And these were both precious, precious people. Goddess bless us all.
Thank you to Tracy. Caroline, do you want to share?
I just want to see.
Sure. I always remember the first time I met Loreon when I went to Isis Oasis for the first time, and I was there for the scrolls. I had heard a lot about Isis Oasis. I was ordained a priestess before coming to Isis Oasis. So that was a journey, going in my pilgrimage, getting on my car, and it was so many years ago. I just started driving, so I'm getting there and finding her, and I can agree with the Tracy that she had such a beautiful energy, so like happy, so joyful. Everything was joy with her, to the point that I made it a point to go frequently to see her. And I got readings from her, and it's just like such a beautiful person. And I always remember her, and I think I mentioned it in the temple, that she gave me her Isis statue. So my big Isis statue in my altar is one of Lady Loreon's altar Isis, because she didn't have one to sell me. And she's like, okay, you want it, you get mine. And so I definitely treasure that statue, and it's been in my altar since she gave it to me. So definitely, like, I always remember her, and she's part of my ancestors' altar, the same as Lady Olivia. And with Serena, I had a couple of times where we drove together. We were not very close, but definitely a person that was very special. And the little time that I got to spend with her, I could see her magnificence as a priestess. Definitely, she's so missed. She's really like it really hit me when I heard the news. Thank you.
Marky, do you want to share?
Sure. I remember Serena, she was a roommate of mine. It was so fun. She was the most fun roommate I ever had. Just so kind, and um, we both loved kitties, and she got to meet Julie Newmar, and I was excited about that, and told her that it was her birthday, and I better say it because I guess she's, you know, kind of a friend with her, and wished her happy birthday. It'd be, of course, she was like Catwoman, She was definitely like anybody with kitties, so she's a wonderful lady. She was a wonderful person. It's always in my heart. She's always been a friend. I love her tattoos, and I loved her different color hair and gold um, Belfast she wanted to. And just a beautiful lady. I'm sorry she's gone. I
Yeah.
would have loved to have her as a roommate again. But, yeah, very.
One thing that I always share about Marky that is always fun is Marky. Marky's been with her. Marky, how long have you been doing picture now?
Let's see, at 94, 92, 93, something like that.
So 20 plus.
Yeah.
And Lady Loreon actually set the two of you up.
Yes, we were at the tree, and he introduced us to us. Look, Marky, this is Victor.
Wonderful.
And then we became married under the tree, and became ordained under the tree. But that's thanks to Loreon.
That's such a beautiful story. And that kind of, brings me to the magic of Loreon. Loreon was always one of these people who, whenever they came in contact with her, whether it was just for 5 minutes or for a period of time, she really was a catalyst of changing their life for the better. I know for my own love affairs, Loreon was very instrumental with providing me the space to fall in love. And then she was very instrumental for me for giving me the space to recover from when that love went wonky. Loreon wasn't judgmental. You kind of were going through something. She provided you with the mental space to just go through it and to kind of experience both the highs and the low. And that's what I think from day one when she created the Oasis, when she wasn't sure what she wanted to do. The one thing that she did create was a place for people to have experiences. And from the earliest time that I could glean from her journals, from people's experiences here, from the very first priestesses that were ordained in '83, it seems like Loreon was always kind of creating a place for people to just be themselves. Because I think that's what Loreon wanted her whole life, and then that's what she created. And it's that magic of allowing people to be, but allowing them to be in a positive, encouraging, uplifting manner that really defines Loreon. Because Loreon, her whole life grew herself. That was one thing that I always kind of held myself up to, doing something that Loreon would like. And I doing it in the Loreon way, because Loreon always did it herself. She wanted a temple, she got herself a temple. She wanted Ocelot, she got herself an Ocelot. Whatever Loreon wanted, she just went out and did. And kind of world be damned in a positive way, She didn't, she didn't but if she wanted something, she would go out and then get people to help her with it, and I'd be surprised how many times where we would do event here at the Oasis, and I'm like, Loreon, we don't have enough people in the kitchen. She's like, oh, it will just happen. And I don't know how she wrangled it, but people would just come up for the day, and suddenly we would have volunteers in the kitchen for catering for a group of 60. And Loreon would just kind of do that. And she would just kind of hold her court, and people loved being around her. She definitely was this beautiful Cleopatra high priestess energy. And it was a joy to be around her. And, when she passed, that spark of Loreon I thought would not be around. But one of the things that still gives me so much pleasure is to actually see the oasis and see the spark that she's kind of created and see it keep going. That's kind of my joy and my, my pleasure of seeing that it just keeps going, no matter what's going on. And Loreon was always that. She was always that person to encourage you to do your best and to just do your dreams. Even if you fell flat in the face, she encouraged you to do it because you had to go and do it. Because why weren't you? So that's kind of my story I want to share about Loreon. And Serena, oh my gosh, I was working on projects with Serena last month, and the one thing I can say is that I'm honestly going to miss Serena. Serena was one of those people that I don't know anybody else truly in my life who could walk into a room full of 60 people and yell, "Pussy!" And people, instead of getting startled and getting annoyed, people would just smile and nod and kind of let her do her thing, So yeah, that's Serena. Tracy, do you want to share some more?
Sure. I know that we have a lot of people there watching on Facebook, and I just wanted to tell you, if you want to come to our Zoom site, it's a lot easier to share on, and the Zoom number is 775-157-2844. So once again, if you want to join us on Zoom, it's 775-157-2844, no password needed. So just go to Zoom, and that's 775-157-2844, and that is backwards. So here we go, is, if you want to see it, it is 775-157-2844. So, okay. So if you want to join us on that. One of the things that, both Lady Loreon and Serena shared was a passionate love for cats, and especially exotic cats. I think everyone who knows Serena knew how very in love she was with her cat Selkit, and as Selkit's situation became more difficult, I know that was a big burden on Serena, and in some way must have contributed to her passing, just if only because of the sadness, which diminishes our ability to be resilient. And so whatever took Serena from us, I think the loss of her cat was a portal that opened and made her perhaps not as willing to fight to stay in this realm. So, but one of the things that I remember about Serena was when things were difficult for her for a time, I really tried to meditate on how to help her, and I came up with the idea of making her our enrichment specialist for our exotic cats here. And her actual title was the Exotic Feline Enrichment Specialist. And so this was a way that I could have her come up. I could give her some money, and yet she wouldn't feel like she was taking any sort of charity. And I made her these business cards, which show her as our exotic feline enrichment specialist under the Isis Oasis rainbow. So this little card kind of combines Loreon with the Isis and rainbow design that she created, and Serena with her photo. And I thought she looked just perfect in this. I mean, who wouldn't have her as your exotic feline enrichment specialist? She clearly was qualified. And then on the back, we included some of the pictures of her with the cats. That's Isis, whom she loved so much, and whom we all love so much, and who Loreon loves so much. This cat was one that really drew us all together. She was an ocelot that could be handled and would sit with people, and it was just an amazing and inspiring experience to be in her presence. And Isis was a very elderly ocelot. She was actually one of the most elderly on record in the United States, and finally she passed away. And when she did go, it was rather suddenly. And I know that Serena took that very hard. And we know when I came on, most of our cats were quite elderly, and there was, it was difficult to work with the geriatric cats. And Serena was always so both gentle and fearless with them, and she was, unafraid to work with them and to comfort them, to play with them, and to just be with them. And she seemed to draw strength from it. And so I was so glad to have a reason to have Serena here more and to work with our cats, because they loved her. They, just passionate about anything that she wanted to do. And Serena, maintained that she really was spiritually a cat. And I would see her with our cats, and that was very easy to believe. She was beautiful with them, and in all senses, and really, I think, enhanced their lives, as well as taking some pleasure in it too.
Tracy, do you want to read the Facebook comments?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to read the Facebook comments?
Okay. I have a number of people watching, but I don't seem to have any comments. So if there are any comments that you want to share, now is a good moment. There is a way to bring people on camera, but I've never done this before, so I don't honestly know if that's going to work.
I would invite people to do right now, Tracy.
Yes?
The thing that I would actually invite everyone to do who's here is actually, who's on Facebook and wants to share more. If you guys want to actually send us a 10-second video to Isis Oasis TOI, I'll be more than happy to create a little video and include it on our kind of birthday wishes video that we're putting together right now. But once again, if anybody wants to add a video, send us a 10-second video clip that's as max as you can send, and I can get it. And just send it to Isis Oasis TOI. So it's Isis Oasis TOI @gmail.com. And we'll put it together and we'll showcase that video on our YouTube channel and our Facebook. And I think the big thing is we just want to invite everybody to come back tonight at 10 o'clock, Tracy.
Well, I'll be sitting in silence for Loreon at that time. And you can also sit in silence where you are. It's not going to be very visually exciting, but I will be just in a prayerful mode, and you're more than welcome to witness it with me. So
she'll be having that live via the Isis Oasis Sanctuary Facebook. So she'll be showing the main altar for an hour, and she'll be sitting there in vigil. So anyone who would like to do that by attunement, like Olivia always says, you're more than welcome to do that. I want to encourage people to go and sit, because there's something about being in the presence where that energy has already been created for you. It really kind of helps you get that current. And Lady Olivia loved that. Morna did it a lot of times before the age of the internet with Lady Olivia via correspondence, via letters. So we're kind of doing that today, and Tracy's going to do that on our Isis Oasis Sanctuary page from 10 to 11. So please come back and sit in vigil with us.
Is there anyone on Facebook that has a final mention? I'm not seeing anything coming through, but I thank you all very much for being with us, and I look forward to talking with many of you, and Goddess bless all of us in our various losses and in our various griefs. I hope that we can come together in person sometime soon and have the comfort of being with each other as we mourn the passing of those that have gone on ahead. So Goddess bless you all.
Blessings with everyone.